All right. How's everybody feeling? Good. Are you too warm? I see you guys already in your tank tops. You're good? Okay, let me know if you need me to turn it down. Okay, like if it's too much. These guys you can just turn off or angle toward you if you want more. And let's start on our backs, you guys. I know I'm getting warm too. I gotta strip down here. All right, so welcome everybody that's doing the recording as well. You're gonna want a strap today, maybe. So anything, it can be a scarf, it can be anything, okay? And when you're on your back, just make sure you've got room overhead to stretch your arms. You won't need that a lot this morning, but it's kind of nice to just stretch out. So if you've got stuff in your way, you might wanna move it. Have a block nearby as you're on your back. If you don't have a block at home, you can use anything that you can kind of roll up to squeeze between the knees, okay? And as you come down onto your back, just maybe take a sigh. Notice all the places where your body is making contact with the floor. Just kind of acknowledging everything that you've done this morning already, or today, if you're doing this recording later. Everything that it took for you to get here to your yoga practice. And then letting it go. So just kind of releasing all that you've already done, bringing yourself right here, right now onto your mat. And then taking a little bit of a bigger inhale, allowing the rib cage to expand three-dimensionally. The belly will probably rise as well. And then as you exhale, let's extend the exhale, getting every last bit of air out. You can even place your hands, it might be a good idea if you're comfortable with it, just on your lower ribs. And as you inhale, feel that expansion. And as you exhale, keep going with your exhale longer than you would normally do that. And at the end of the exhale, perhaps you can feel your abdominal muscles kind of pulling back and maybe a little bit up toward your belly button, I mean. And then again. And you can use your Ujjayi breathing here if you'd like to, hearing the sound of your breath. So it's spring today, or I guess it was yesterday was the equinox, which is exciting, right? And so, spring can mean a lot of things when we work with it in our yoga practice. Sometimes we do like a twisting practice in the spirit of cleansing out the system, twisting things around. But today I thought we would focus on just taking things in a new perspective, the focus we've had before, a fresh perspective, the idea of refreshing, renewing. So if there's anything that you feel like you would need a new perspective on in your life right now, or would like one, you might just allow that to come into your awareness. And then allow it to go. You don't have to hold on to it or think about it. And then on your next exhale, continue to engage the abdominals at the bottom and just lift the feet off the floor and get a hold of your block or whatever you can squeeze between your knees. And we'll place the block just below the knees, or above the knees, I should say, between your thighs. And just stacking your knees over your hips. Inhale, And as you exhale, move the knees just away enough so that you feel your core have to stabilize them there. And then inhale, take your arms out to a T and take the knees partway down to the left. And as you exhale, can you begin your exhale, engage your abdominals and bring the knees back up to center. And then inhale, take the knees partway down to the right. And same thing, begin the exhale, engage the abdominals, knees up. Now keep going on your own pace. You can go as close to the floor as you'd like, wherever you can still use your abdominals rather than your throat to bring the knees up. And just feel the change in contact with the floor on your hips as you go side to side. Now, to make this a little bit more challenging, when you come through the center, be sure not to draw the knees in close. Keep the knees stacked over the hips or even a little further away. And see that when you begin that exhale and engage the abdominals, that's where the work is happening first. So not like by clenching your jaw or anything like that. And next time you go down to your left side, let's stay there. Now, if your knee doesn't reach the floor, if your bottom leg doesn't reach the floor, you could take your block out and put it below that knee. Or you can keep them between the knees. Okay. Now your arms are stretched out to the side. Let's take that right arm, inhale. And as you exhale, let's bring the arm overhead and roll over onto your left shoulder, stacking the hands so the arms are straight out to the side. And then inhale, sweep the arm overhead and go back around to the right with the arm. The knees stay in the same spots. So repeat that. It doesn't matter about the breath. You're just kind of rolling in and out of the twist. And noticing, can you keep those hips stable? And as you trace the arm overhead, you're tracing it on the floor if you can, right? So it's reaching above you toward the wall above you, fingertips touching the floor if you can. And you'll notice they'll have to come off likely, but that's how you'll get the stretch, as though you're trying to keep those fingertips on the floor. Good, you guys. Now, next time you open up, just pause, taking an inhale there, feeling the expansion of the rib cage. And then as you exhale, let's begin the exhale, bring the knees up to center and over and down to the right, adjusting the block however you need it. Just pause there, breathing for a moment. And now with that left arm, let's sweep it overhead, keeping fingertips on the floor as long as you can, and then rolling onto your right side as the arms stack. And then coming back around, just let your breath flow. Let your head roll with the movement. And try to keep the knees right where they are. Good, and then staying open in the twist for a breath or two. Relaxing through your jaw and through your neck. And then on your exhale, beginning your exhale first, engaging the abdominals to bring the knees back up to the center. And let's take the block away now and just place it on the floor and do what feels good on your low back here. It might feel good to windshield wiper or anything else you want to do. And then coming back to stillness and just exhale, knees in towards your belly. You can hold above or below your knees. One hand on each knee. Let's just make little circles on your low back for a moment. And circle the other way. Good. Now you've got one hand on each knee or below each knee. And let's imagine your knees are like a steering wheel here. And if you give a little tug on the right knee, just roll to the right. And you can let yourself come all the way onto your right side if that feels okay. And now let's tug on the left leg. So let's pull the left knee up toward the ceiling so your legs separate, and keep going until you roll back onto your back. And then let yourself roll onto the left. And then same thing, other side. So you pull with your hand to initiate the movement on the top knee, separate the knees until the other leg follows. And if you don't feel great about going all the way onto your side, you can just go part way too. And now let's come back to the center, still with the knees bent and off the feet off the floor. And can you hold behind your knees here and separate the knees apart from one another and the feet? And now inhale, could you just take the soles of the feet to face the ceiling with your knees still bent? Yeah, so bend your knees, everybody, all the way down towards your armpits. Yeah, they're not gonna reach your armpits. I just mean they're going in that direction, okay? Yeah, like a happy baby without holding your feet. Okay, and now breathe. Now, can you keep them like that if you let go with your arms and just relax your arms on the floor? Okay. Now imagine you're like on the inside of a balloon, and you're going to just kick that right leg on the same angle it's on, as though you're trying to stretch the balloon up toward the ceiling. Yeah, imagine you're like having to push a weight, so you're creating some resistance, and then bend the knee back down, and then try to do the same thing with the left. Good. So the knees are wide, the feet are trying to face the ceiling. They might not be able to, but you're attempting that. And you're feeling like almost like you're lifting a weight, like you're doing a squat, pressing through the leg. Now let's try it with both legs at the same time. So really engage, you're using your quadricep muscles here, fronts of the thighs to make this happen. And imagine you're just trying to stretch that balloon out away from your face, and then you're slowly bringing it back down without letting it recoil. And then just notice if you're breathing. Good. Okay, now let's bend the knees again, and either wrap the arms around the outer knees so you come around the thighs, so you're in happy baby, or you can reach up for the outer feet with your arms too, either one. And just pause here. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, you might begin to move your tail toward the floor. Good. And then inhale again. And as you exhale, you might begin to move the knees down closer toward, it's like you're moving them toward the floor. They're not going to go to the floor or anything, but just in that direction, soles of feet facing ceiling, if you can. Good. Nice. Now let's exhale, release the hold on the legs, just bend the knees, placing the feet on the floor. And take an inhale, noticing, and an exhale. I'm going to move anything out from below your head now. And inhale, pressing into your feet. Let's curl up into bridge pose, or lift up into bridge pose. Engage the glutes on the way up. And then exhale, slowly lower down. Good. And let's do that again. See if you can come up one vertebra at a time. and lower down one vertebra at a time. Next time you come down, if you have a block, just taking it and let's place it below your head. Yeah, just on the low level. There you go. Inhale. As you exhale, let's lift the feet off the floor again, bringing the knees close to your, kind of like we were just doing, kind of close to your armpits, but we're not holding. And now let's just practice. Inhale, exhale. Can you lift the tail off the floor? So it's almost like you're trying to roll it up. You might not be able to get it off the floor, but just that's where you're trying to go. You're going to say exhale, rock it up. Okay. Now let's exhale, and could you keep it somewhere? You might not be able to keep it off the floor, but just going in that direction. And now could you take your arms up toward the ceiling in between your knees? Yes. So it's going to be like we're doing crow pose, if you know what that is, on the ceiling. So we're going to now exhale and maybe tuck the chin and try to get your triceps or your outer shoulders in between your knees. It's like you're rounding your back to get there. Yeah. Inhale. You can look at the ceiling if you want. Exhale. Maybe you can stay here. You might have to come down. Inhale again. And exhale, release. Just place your feet down on the floor. Let the knees go side to side. So you can feel in that, I mean, I hope you guys felt how much core engagement you need, right? To be able to kind of round like that and draw the knees up. Well, it's the same in crow pose when you're trying to do it on the floor with your hands on the floor. It's all about the core. Yes, there's some shoulders, but it's mainly the abdominal muscles that you're trying to engage. All right, let's move that block away. We're going to come back to bridge pose, but this time interlacing hands behind the head. Feet on the floor. Inhale, spread elbows wide. Exhale, let's tuck the tail and curl the hips up off the floor, engaging the glutes. Inhale, let's lower back down, vertebrae by vertebrae, keeping the elbows wide. And exhale, let's let the elbows curl around the ears, tuck the chin, and just lift the head and shoulders a little bit without cranking on the neck. Then inhale, head back down, open elbows. Exhale, curl tail. Into bridge. So we're just going to go back and forth at your own pace. On the inhale, you're lowering something and spreading elbows. And on the exhales, you're lifting either hips or upper body. And really feel yourself in the bridge pressing into your feet. And now next time you come down from either side, either roll to your side and press yourself up, or draw your knees in and rock yourself up. And we're just going to come into cat and cow pose, okay? Just come onto hands and knees, spread fingers wide, and move however you want to move, okay? Breathe however you want to breathe. Just find some extension and flexion of the spine, maybe some rotations through the ribs or hips. Good. And then focus for a moment on the cat pose, the rounded one. And just like we were doing on our backs in that upside down crow pose, can you feel like you're trying to engage the abdominals more? And then just roll back out to a neutral spine this time. And inhale, really protract the shoulder blades, just widen them. Yeah, that's it. And then exhale, can you take your right leg straight back, toes on the floor? Good. Inhale, we're just going to open up to the right with our chest. So we'll come onto that left arm. You can let the bottom leg kind of swivel around like a kickstand to support you. And stretch it up, and then exhale slowly with control. Come back to the starting position, even bringing the knee in. Now we're going to just take one breath through this. So we're going to inhale, open up to the left. So extend the leg back and open. Stretch it up. And then exhale with control, coming down, keeping those shoulders protracted in the middle. Okay, try a few more. And whichever one you're going into right now, just pause and let the shoulder, or the arm, I should say, move around. And you can let the torso move around too. I'm making circles, but you can do whatever you want. Now with that bottom arm, can you roll the upper arm bone back? Yeah. Okay, so you're not, getting up all in your neck. And if you're a hyperextender, I think we got a couple of them in here, just, be aware of that. Put a little bend in your elbow if you need to. Good. And now coming down back to the middle, and just do the other side. So you can inhale, open to the other side, roll that upper arm bone back. Good. Stretch it up, and then begin to move however you'd like to move. Let your neck do what feels best. Good. And now let's come back down, staying in this quadruped position here. Just inhale, protract those shoulder blades, just widen them. And exhale, we're going to lift the right knee off the floor, keeping it bent, and just make big circles with the right hip. Now, you don't have to keep the hip square or anything. You can move this knee around as big as you can, opening it to the side, even coming into the center, taking your knee towards your forehead. And then if you're going one direction, just reversing that direction. Good. Now you can always be on forearms if your wrists are bothering you, okay? And then let's do the other side. Get that knee down. Inhale, protract the shoulder blades. Exhale, lifting the other knee. And just start drawing big circles. Really exploring all the different angles. Knee to forehead. Good, then bringing that knee down, and let's come down onto our forearms, but keep those shoulder blades protracted, right? So you're lifted out of them. Let your neck relax. We're just going to inhale and take the right leg out to the right. Yeah, straight out to the side. So I've got my toes pointing forward. You may or may not be able to do that. And you might find, if you're getting a hip cramp, just work it out. You might find that you can't have it straight out from the hip. So just check with that. Does it need to be further back? Okay, and now can you tilt your tail up and then round? So inhale, tilt it up, and exhale, round. Good, now next time you tilt it up, let's exhale, leave it there, and press into the foot, into that right foot, and feel your inner thigh turn on. Good. Now from here, you can tuck your back toes under and see if you can keep the tail tilted up as you try to sit back toward the heel and then rise again. And so we're just kind of stretching into the hip and inner thigh, or not kind of, but really. And you're making it happen by pressing it in your leg into the floor. And if you've got any knee trouble on this left knee, you might not be able to go back very far toward the heel. So just monitoring that as well. Just one more here. And then rising up. Exhale, carefully just bend the knee, bringing it back in. Good. Inhale, protract the shoulder blades. And exhale, let's take the left leg out to the side and go through some cats and cows when you're ready. Remember, on that cat pose, today we're focusing a bit on being able to round the spine as well as extend it. And when you're rounding it, can you really try to feel the sensation as though you were moving your abdominals back towards your spine? That hollow body kind of thing. You're not trying to make your belly disappear or anything, okay? So it's nothing about sucking in or how it looks. It's about the feel of being able to round and engage. And next time you tilt your tail up, let's press that left foot into the floor. Try to feel the inner thigh turn on. And exhale, you can tuck your back toes and try to sit just part way towards your heel. If it's this right knee that's bothering you, my right knee, I've got an injury, I'm not going to push it, right? I'm going to instead just focus on pressing my left foot into the floor. And I'm only bending it a little bit, going back. Good. And then when you're ready, inhaling up, exhale, bringing that left leg in. And let's go back to down dog, just coming up onto the hands and exhale, going back, moving around however you feel best. You can wiggle, waggle, lift legs or twist. Pedal out your feet, just different ideas of how you can settle yourself into down dog. And then once you feel like you could settle there for a few breaths, could you press down into your fingertips? You can always come down onto your knees too and be in puppy dog. And then press into the space between your index finger and your thumb. Let the neck relax. Good. And then let's exhale, slowly lower knees down to the floor and round as you do that. So let the spine round as you watch your knees lower. And then inhale, let's roll out to that chest forward, tail up position. Yes. Good. Now exhale, let's round back to child's pose, taking care of your knees if you don't want to go all the way back. And inhale, let's roll up, round as you come up. Good. And exhale, can you just come forward to a knees down plank? So I'm not going to let my belly sag. I'm going to tuck my tail and keep my core engaged. Yeah. So you're on a slant here. And then draw that belly up and see if you can tuck your tail under. Guys at home. Yeah. Good. And then inhale, untuck the tail, going back to child's pose, tilting the tail up this time. Good. And let's exhale, round, coming up. And keep that tail tucked. So engage the glutes and come forward to that knees down plank. Okay, and then try again. So now we're going to go back, inhaling, tilt the tail up. And we're going to exhale, coming forward, tucking tail under, and then coming forward to your knees down plank. Now you can stay in this variation, especially wrists, shoulder issues are going on, or you can try to do this down dog. So you do the same thing. You inhale back, untucking the tail, and then on your exhale, you round the spine, but rolling out to a knees up plank. Keeping that tail tucked, and repeat, bend the knees as you go back to down dog, tilting tail up. Good, so do whichever variation seems right for you today. with a focus on that core engagement. So you're not coming into a cobra, right? When you come forward, you're staying lifted through the belly and tucked through the tail, not here, right? Not this, this. And then let's end either in down dog or child's pose, whatever you prefer. Let your neck rest. Follow your breath in and out. On your next inhale, can you feel a really wide breath? Good, and on your exhale, let's lower down to knees. You're gonna take your left arm, let's get your hands, I forgot something we should do. Let's get your hands below your shoulders, okay? And we're gonna inhale here, just in neutral, and exhale, let's thread the left arm underneath the right. Let the right elbow bend, placing the left shoulder toward the floor, tucking your chin, but we're gonna come right back up. Okay, so we're gonna then come back up to the center and exhale, other side. So this is just going to be a moving pose here. You'll inhale on your way up, pressing into that standing arm, and exhale into your twist and shoulder stretch, taking care of the neck as you go down. Feeling which muscles are engaging to lift you off the floor. Can you help out your shoulder and your wrist by using some core muscles to help you come off the floor? So you begin your exhale, can you pull the ribs in and help yourself come up? I know I had you coming up on the inhale, didn't I? Try it on an exhale. Try coming up on the exhale so you can get that engagement of the core. All right, next time you come up, pause, and now we'll take the left forearm down to the floor. So what I've got is that you guys can see in here, I've got it across my body like this. You guys at home, okay, like that, with my my elbow below my shoulder. And I'm gonna take the right one in front of it. Yeah, I'm gonna call these, I dream of genie arms, okay? Yeah, and then protract your shoulder blades. And if you don't feel right and you need it the other way to start, then do it the other way with the left arm in front. Okay, so if you feel kind of off, good. So you got those shoulders protracted. Could you walk the knees back? If you need to pat them, go ahead until you can tuck your tail under. So same thing when we did plank, knees down, we're here. Yeah, the belly is drawing in, not sagging, and you're engaging your glutes. Good, so you're in a modified forearm plank variation, neck relaxed. Feel like you're moving your armpits towards your hips. Good, let your neck be at ease. Inhale, draw that belly in and tuck the tail. Yeah, good. All right, exhale, just walk the knees back and stretch the arms forward, just stretching out for a moment. Let your neck be at ease. All right, and then just peek up here so I can show you what we'll do. I'm going to show you a couple variations, okay? The first one is I'm going to put my blanket down for my knees. I'm going to start in that same position, right? Inhale here. I'm going to exhale, try to keep all of this going on, drawing in and swivel to the side. So notice I didn't do this with my shoulder or sink. I'm keeping this all engaged. And then I'm going to come back. I'm just going to let my breath flow, my glutes engage, and then come to the other side. So the main thing I'm working on here is keeping this all engaged. Okay, so when I come to the middle, I'm not sagging down, right? You could also do this with your knees off the floor. Okay, so same thing. I'm just rolling over my feet. Some people might like this better because you're not on the knees, but you have to be able to handle it with your core, okay? Okay, so when you're ready, give it a shot. Pick whichever one. You'll have enough time to try both. Don't worry. Okay. And get your shoulders right below, or your elbows right below your shoulders. Protract those shoulder blades. So when you come through the middle, you don't retract them. Okay. Keep them protracted. That's part of that whole middle we're working on. And go for it, you guys. I just want to see, in case I need to adjust anything. Make sure your knees are back far enough that when you come through the middle, you can tuck your tail. You're not in a quadruped anymore. Okay, your tail is tucked. You start there. Butts are not up. Okay. I know it's hard. Just keep drawing the ribs in. Good, everybody. Yeah. Notice how your shoulder feels. Okay, so take it easy on the shoulder. It's an opening and a strengthener for the shoulder. Yes. And can you feel that whole center of your body? Almost like, I'm thinking, because I saw costumes this weekend with the Celtic stuff, like that you've got one of those corsets on that's like you're drawing all your muscles in, not trying to be any figure. Okay. It's not about how you look. It's about feeling that engagement. And then when you're ready for a rest, come through the middle. And I really like puppy dog to counter that, and just stretch out for a moment, letting your head come down between your arms, stretching your arms forward and your hips up. And inhale, feeling the width of your breath. And exhale. Now feel the difference in puppy dog pose. If you were to just let your ribs flare toward the floor and kind of back bend a bit, feel that. That's one variation of puppy. You can always have elbows bent if your shoulders hurt. And then the difference between that and now drawing your front ribs in, so your back is more of a straight line from hips to shoulders, and your core is more engaged. Yeah, so just notice the difference between those two positions. And then as you're ready, let's exhale slowly, going through downward dog and into a forward fold. Let's walk feet up towards your hands. And let yourself bend your knees, take your feet as wide as feels good in your own body, and take your arms into any position you like. Just kind of notice how this position feels. So one new perspective that I'll just offer to you in your yoga practice might be that it's not about how any of these poses look. You're not trying to achieve perfection. You're not trying to look good in them or anything like that. It's really about how things feel and exploring your own body, being comfortable in your own body, how it is today. And comfortable isn't always pleasant. It's more of an attitude, right? So it's like, how do I feel here? Can I adjust so that I can feel more at ease? More efficient. And now as you take your inhale, let's place hands above knees and just extend your spine forward. Maybe straighten the legs if you haven't. And then exhale, bending the knees. And inhale, let's stand up, stretching the arms up toward the ceiling. You can look up if you'd like to. And exhale, arms out and down. Good. And then just taking your feet below your hips. Just stand for a moment. You can let your eyes close if you're comfortable with that. is notice how it feels to stand. And then when you're ready, you can just open your eyes and grab a blanket. Just place it kind of in the middle of your mat or for knee padding in a moment, and your blocks up at the front if you got them. Good. And then standing feet parallel. Let's inhale, taking the top of your head up toward the ceiling. And exhale. And then inhale, let's reach the arms up. And exhale, hinge and fold. And inhale, extending the spine forward, extending the chest forward. And exhale, let's take the left leg back and drop the knee down towards your blanket. And then inhale, let's come into a half kneel and tuck your tail forward. All right, so going from here to here. Feel your glute engage in the back and the top of your head toward the ceiling. Inhale until you get that stretch in the front of the back hip. Good. Nice. Exhale. And then inhale, let's reach the arms up. Yeah, you can stretch to that right side. That's a nice one. You can exhale. You can stretch a little bit to the right if you want to, either by grabbing the left wrist and letting your head rest on your right arm or any way that works. Good. And then inhale, come back up to center. All right, and now exhale. Let's let the hips migrate forward, but see if you can keep that tail tucking under as much as possible as you go. And then we're going to walk that right foot a little bit to the right. And you're going to take both hands on the inside of your right foot on your blocks. You can lower your blocks. You could take your hands to the floor, or you could even come down to your forearms onto your blocks, or these guys have a lot of different heights here. Now, as you do this, let's take this right foot and see, where does it feel best? Like, does it want to be a little further to the right? Would that allow you to sink into the hips a little more? Do you want to turn that right foot out a little bit and kind of play around with it? See what feels right here. And then can you exhale, press into that right heel as though you were trying to draw it back to your left knee. So like you're sliding it, it's an isometric contraction as though you're trying to slide it on the floor. And then feel your hamstrings turn on that right side. And now can you engage your left glute? Just tighten that up as though you were going to try to draw your left knee forward. And let your neck relax and breathe, keeping that contraction if you can. A couple more breaths. Can you protract your shoulder blades in whatever position you're in? Good. Now let's let go of that contraction with the legs and let your hips sink a little further, but don't like hang out. Does that make sense? It's not like a hammock where you're just going to like let it fall. You're going to keep a little bit of protection there. Good. And then slowly begin to bring yourself back up. Good. And let's step into any variation of plank pose. So it can be on forearms, it can be on knees. Good. And feel like your armpits are moving towards your waist. Inhale. Good. Now exhale, we're going to lower down to the floor. So drop to knees for this one and roll the shoulder heads back and see if you can lower the rest of your body in one unit here. You might not be able to, that's okay. Move your blanket out of the way and inhale, Sphinx pose, or even Cobra if you want, keeping shoulder blades away from your ears, engaging glutes. Good. Exhale. Inhale. Now exhale, let's lower down as you stretch your spine forward and just send your blocks forward so you have some space side to side. The forehead's going to come to the floor And I'm going to inhale, extend my right arm, palm down out to the side. My left hand's like I'm going to do a push-up. And I'm going to exhale, just twist. So I'm going to turn my chest to the left. And I'm going to inhale, come back down, tuck my chin so I don't smash my nose. And exhale, extend the left arm and go to the left. And I'm going to keep going side to side. And what I'm doing with my top leg is I'm bending the knee and I'm taking that up off the floor and placing it down behind me. You can try that. So just a dynamic pec stretch here, side to side, front of shoulder as well, maybe even bicep. Really feel the extended arm's hand on the floor. Like press into the fingers so you can get a little of resistance there. And go slowly with control. Okay, next time you come back through the center, let's prep like you're going to push up. Hands wide, and let's roll the shoulder heads back and the shoulder blades down the back, kind of integrating them into your back. And then let's exhale and draw the ribs like you're trying to take them off the floor. They might not come off the floor, but just in that direction. Tuck the tail, engage the glutes, inhale. And exhale, can you press up? Good, and then inhale there. So you're trying to do it in one unit. You could do it in plank too, if you've got more strength there, okay? And control. Or exhale, lower down. Try to keep the shoulder heads away from the floor. Go slowly. Inhale, shoulder heads roll away. Exhale, as one unit, draw everything in, engage glutes and press up. And then back to either puppy dog pose or downward dog. Good, and just turn your head once you get there. Well, regardless of which one you've chosen, you'll have space to turn your head if you lift your forehead off the floor and down in puppy dog. Just turning your head side to side gently, noticing. Maybe take a sigh or two here. Letting the head just hang. And then inhale, bend the knees. And exhale, let's step the left leg forward to a low lunge, getting your knee padding. And then when you rise up, just tuck that tail, engage the glutes. Good. And inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, if you want to do a side bend, you could get a hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Let the head just rest on that left arm. Keep tucking the tail under. Yeah, that's it. Engage the glute. You got it. Good. And then inhale, rise back up. And exhale, bring the arms down. Try to keep that tail tucked as much as you can as you let the weight shift forward. You can get your blocks and move the left leg out to the side a bit as you take your hands inside your leg. So take this really slowly, just getting into the depth that is not too much. So we tend to overstretch these hip flexors. So just be aware of that and back out a little bit. And then find your breath. Make sure your wrists can be at ease. You can always use this, right, like this. And then let's add the isometric contraction. So you're going to press into that left heel and feel like you're trying to drag it back toward the right knee. And try to feel that the back of your left thigh is turning on. And then engage your right glute, feeling like you're trying to drag your right knee forward. Good, and breathe. Protract your shoulder blades and relax your neck. Let's feel how different that is from just hanging out. Good, and then allow that to release You might go a little deeper if it feels okay. Good. And then slowly inhale, bring yourself up. And exhale, you can take your blocks on either side of that front foot. We're going to inhale, lift the back knee off the floor. And exhale, stepping that back leg forward. And inhale, hands above knees. Let's take the weight toward the balls of the feet a bit as you stretch your chest forward. Good. Yeah, really long, shoulders down your back. And exhale, bend the knees like you're sitting in a chair behind you. And then inhale, stand up, reach up. And exhale, arms out to the sides and down. And let's go up again. Inhale up. And exhale, fold. And inhale, extending your spine forward. And exhale. This time, let's step the right leg back. You won't need the blanket. I'm just going to step over mine, but you can always move it out of the way. Okay. And then spin that right heel down to the floor. Yeah, we're going to be turning our hips and our chest to the right. Okay, so we're going to inhale, stand up. You can spin that right arm open into warrior two. Good. And then exhale, let's just drop the arms. Let's make sure we're all on the same side here. So you got the left leg forward, got the right heel kicking back. Yeah, and you can always bend the back knee if you need to. Okay, you can turn your belly to the right if possible, away from the knee. And then just turn your head to look at your front foot. Can you see your big toe? And if your knee's caving in, you might need to open the foot less. Good. Now let's take your hands behind your head. Okay, so you turn to the side, to the right, and inhale, just pressing your head back into your hands. Good. Now exhale, let's side bend to the right a little bit. Yeah, so the elbow goes down a little lower. And then inhale, come back up. Now exhale, can you keep your feet where they are, but turn your chest toward that front knee. And inhale, start to lean forward toward that thigh. And whatever breath you're on, come back up. Open up to the side. Good. Now side bend. So here's our flow. We're side bending to the right. We're rising up. You're going to just let your breath flow and use it in a way that works for you. We're turning it toward the front leg and we're leaning. We're hinging. Good. Keep going. Really trying to find stability through your core and through your feet, through your legs. Good. Can you feel that back leg working to hold you? Good. Now the next time that you hinge toward this front leg, could you lift the back heel up and pivot? So now you're in a lunge and take the arms out to the side. And then take that right hand down to a block and open up to the left. Good. Now that left arm, you can put it wherever you want it. It can go behind your head. It can go on your hip. It can go up toward the ceiling. Let's scoot the left hip back. Inhale. And exhale, look down towards your left foot with your eyes and see how that feels. Good. Inhale, let's open the chest to the left, even as you look down. Good. And exhale, let's bring that left arm down to the floor. Inhale, let's step back to any kind of plank. Good. Exhale, let's drop to knees. Good. We're going to get our blocks set up in a little arrangement here. I'm going to place the right block forward a little bit of your right hand if you were in quadruped, okay? And your left hand just slightly back. And what we're going to be doing is taking hands up and down off of blocks in plank. So you could be in this kind of plank, right? Knees down, just remember tails tucked, right? Like this. Or you could be in full plank, okay? And this is what we're doing, okay? We're trying to keep the shoulders protracted and solid. So building shoulder stability. This is what it looks like with knees down, right? It's really feeling the core engaged to hold you there. For you, no, for you, I would just practice maybe forearm plank or any kind of plank, if you can, if it still feels like it can do that. Yeah, any kind of plank that works. So what you could do, I was just telling Brandy here, what you can do if like you've got an injury and it's just not going to work, right? You could practice any kind of plank. Knees up, knees down, any kind of plank, right? So anything that's building shoulder stability and core strength. Good. And keep tucking that tail, Brandy. Yeah. Could you guys take a break? Either move down to the floor and through a cobra, or go back to child's pose or puppy or down dog. Let your shoulders relax. Let your jaw relax. Just kind of let things go. And remember, you can always do what works best for your body. And sometimes, we're just not sure what that is. You can explore. Now feel your breath come in and feel your breath go out. And again. Okay, and then when you're ready, we can go through down dog or not. We're going to be bringing the right leg forward and spinning the left heel down on an angle. You can just look at that leg back there for a moment as you inhale. And now as you exhale, can you find that isometric contraction like we did in lunge with that front heel? And let that help you rise up. Inhale, you can open up the left arm into warrior two. Good. And then exhale, just drop the arms and look at the feet. Go back heel, push back, front knee, just opening up if it doesn't hurt your hip or knee. Good. And then hands behind head if that feels okay. Inhale, opening elbows. And exhale, perhaps a little lean to the left. Good. And now let your breath flow. So we're coming back to center and then turning the chest toward that front thigh and hinging. You're just letting your breath flow, feeling the stability through your lower body and your core. So moving slowly to be able to feel that. Good. And now next time you turn toward that front leg, if you can lift that back heel, coming into a high lunge and stretch the arms out. And then take your left hand down to the block or the floor and just twist open to the right, having your arm wherever you want it right now. So it might be hip, it might be up towards ceiling. Yeah. And then you can look down if you want towards your foot and still open the chest to the right. Inhaling. Good. And now we'll exhale, untwist, and let's take hands to blocks. Inhale, extending your chest forward. And exhale, let's step that back leg forward. Inhale, extending spine forward. Exhale, sitting back toward heels. Good. And inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms out and down. Good. We're going to take our blocks on the low level outside the pinky toe edges of our feet. Good. And first, we're just going to do some eagle arms. Okay, so open up the arms on the inhale. And as you exhale, let's just cross the right arm over the left. And first, just give yourself a hug. And just see how the shoulders feel. Let the upper shoulders, the traps, just move away from your ears. Okay, they're going to stay like that. And then inhale, breathe into your upper back. Exhale. Good. Now you can stay here or you can come into eagle arms, but don't scrunch up by your neck. So eagle arms would be if the elbows hook without pain. You could bring the hands up. Yeah, and you can grab wherever you can grab if you want to. Okay. Keep the neck relaxed away, or the upper traps relaxed away from the neck. Inhale. Now exhale, can you sit like you're sitting in a chair? Good. That's it. Inhale, breathe into your upper back. And exhale, can you start to put your weight on your right foot and just see about perhaps crossing the left thigh over the right and putting the toes on your block? Yeah, and here we are, an eagle pose. Good. Inhale, squeeze the legs toward one another and the arms towards one another. Breathing into the back and exhale. Good. Inhale, breathing into the upper back. Good. Exhale. And then inhale, we're going to fly away. So we're just going to inhale, open up the arms. You can even kick the leg forward if you want. And exhale, arms down, leg down. Inhale, roll the shoulders up. Exhale, down your back. And inhale, open up the arms. And then exhale, hug left on top of right. You can always stick with this one too. Okay. Inhale, can you breathe into your upper back? And exhale, let the upper traps move away from your ears. Good. Keep them that way as you inhale, maybe transitioning to the eagle arms. Lift the elbows away from your chest if you're doing eagle without getting caught up in your neck. Yeah. Exhale. And inhale again. And as you exhale, maybe bending the knees like you're sitting in a chair. And inhale, see if you can start to transfer weight to left foot and cross the leg. As you exhale, toes can find the block. Yeah. Good. And then inhale, breathe into the upper back and squeeze the legs toward one another. Exhale, relax your jaw, relax your neck. Good. Inhale. And as you exhale, you can start to press into that bottom leg and then inhale, fly away. You can open arms, maybe kick leg forward and down. And inhale, rolling shoulders up. Exhale, take them down your back, taking hands to hips. Inhale, roll shoulder heads back, lifting chest, engaging glutes. Exhale, stay here for a moment. Good. Inhale again. Now, as you exhale, can you engage your abdominals, draw your ribs back and fold over your legs? You can roll yourself down if you want, or you can extend spine forward on the way down, whichever you like better right now. Just let your neck hang out. You can bend your knees as much as you'd like to. Follow your breath in and follow your breath out. And then now let's inhale, extend your spine forward, taking your hands above your knees. You kind of wiggle your blocks out of the way, widen the feet a little bit or a lot. And exhale, start to sit back. into a squat. Yeah, into the heels, like a heel squat. Yes, that's it. Inhale here. Good. Now exhale, if your knees allow it, you could try to sit all the way down from here. You might find that you need your blocks to come down. You just take them below your hands and help yourself down. Good. And now we're going to sit up on a block too. Okay, we'll come back. Don't worry, you get a chance in Malasana and squat pose. You're going to sit on a block or two. Okay, so you can always put two next to one another. It just gives a little more width for your behind, right? You can put two. Right. And then inhale, sit up tall. And exhale, let's extend the left leg out. Keep the right knee in. This is where we might want our straps. So you can grab them if you want them. You won't know, so maybe just have it, okay? And our feet, or my legs, they're a little wider than my hips, maybe. They just separate them a little bit. They're not close. Okay. And I'm going to inhale and take my left hand out to the side and lean a little bit that way and stretch my right arm up. And then I'm going to exhale and I'm going to press into this right foot and reach my right arm forward now. Yeah, just as far as it will go. I'm rounding my back. I'm letting my back round. And my right butt is off that block a little bit. Yeah, not my left butt. My left butt's down. Okay. Now from here, can you turn your thumb toward the floor so the palm faces the right? Yeah. And then exhale, let's tuck your chin and you can try to wrap this arm around your shin. Yeah, as though you're going back here. Now look, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do my left hand. I'm gonna take it back there, but that's not usually possible. So what you can do, you can like throw the strap back there. Now, if this is just ridiculous to you and you don't want to do it, what I would recommend doing is just practicing this rounding, right? Just kind of round forward, draw the belly back, right? And this is just getting a little extra rounding in the upper back. Release for the shoulders, big stretch for the hip. Yeah. Celia, stretch that right arm way forward, like you're going to try to go past your foot. Yes. Now turn your palm to the right and then just go as low as you can. Take the arm around, and it just might not work for your shoulders or body. So instead, you could just be here. Check it out. So I've just got both my hands flat on the floor like this. Looks like a push-up position outside the leg. Yeah. I'm just going to let my neck relax. Good. One more breath here. And then inhale, reach your spine forward, and exhale, rise. And then just switch legs. Okay, so make sure you feel stable on your blocks here. And inhale, right hand out to side, reach left arm way up. So you get long first. And then you exhale, and you're pressing into this left foot. It's almost like you're trying to take off and go further than your foot. You might not be able to, but you're trying to go there. And then let your chin drop and just turn your palm out to the left so thumb faces down. And then exhale. You can see if it feels okay in your body to wrap that arm around. You can throw the strap, or you can put your hands. So what I was doing here, if you guys couldn't see at home, I'm just putting them on the floor like I'm going to do a push-up, and then I'm still letting my back round though. I just have a little support. That's it. Couple breaths here, just exploring this side. This is one of those poses that's like you're tying yourself up like a pretzel or something. Your left hip is, yeah. Left hip is up. I mean, it might not be off the floor, but it has that feeling that it could, right? That it's going in that direction. Yes. To make that happen, you're pressing down with the left foot because your energy is going forward as well as rounding. Good. And then release. So undo the arms. Inhale, reach your spine forward. And exhale, rise. You can stay on the blocks if you want, or you can come down to the floor. What we're going to do is cross right leg over left. So I've tucked my left foot under. I'm going to bend the knee here. Now, not like that, Julie, that would hurt like that. Yeah, so my left knee is folded under and my right leg is over the top. So opposite of what you got going on. Yeah, how you doing? Just opposite side, Julie. Opposite. Yeah, sorry, I just don't want you to get messed up in a minute with the sides. Yes. And you guys all feel okay? Okay here. Okay, so like I'm on the blocks, it gives my my hips a little lift. I could also be on the floor if it just feels more stable to you. Okay. The other thing you could be doing, I can't do it on this side, so I'm going to show it this side right now, is you could be trying to stack the knees, Gomukhasana. Okay. So that just means lining them more up and kind of I guess I can do it, but I'm not supposed to. Okay. Boom. All right. So you can stay right here. And now we're going to take the opposite arm up. So the left arm up, inhale. And exhale, just take that hand behind your head or neck. That's right. And inhale, reach the elbow further up. That's it. And exhale, can you bring your head back? And inhale, if you want to, you can take the right arm behind your back. Yes, now you could use a strap, like if you really just want contact. I mean, some of you might be able to get contact, right? Like fine fingertips. And you might not, or it might just feel like too much. You can do this. Okay. And if you're doing the strap, even feel like you're pulling it apart. Inhale, bring your head back. And exhale, release. Good. Let's roll the shoulders. Inhale, undo the legs. Exhale, let's cross the left leg on top of the right. Okay, so you can be stacking them up, or if you're like me and have the knee thing going on, you can take any leg position, okay, that works for you. And this time we're going to inhale and take the right arm up toward the ceiling. And exhale, bend the elbow. Inhale, bring the back of the head back. Good. Exhale, you could stay here, or you could take the left hand behind your back, reaching for fingertips or for strap. Good. If you got the strap, feel like you're pulling it apart. Good. Inhale. Exhale, bringing head back. Good. Inhale. And exhale, release. Good. You can undo the legs, just straighten them out for a moment. Inhale, roll the shoulders. Exhale down your back. It's 10:15 right now, Brandy. I'm gonna go a few minutes over. It was wishful thinking. Yeah, go ahead. Take your time. No, I mean, on my end, take your time. I don't know if you're in a rush. All right, you guys, Malasana. So the way I'm gonna do this today, that's squat, is because of my knee, I'm gonna sit on blocks and I'm just gonna round, right? So I'm just gonna round my spine and come in between my knees. If anybody else has to lead too, of course you can. But you could also do like what Ben's doing right here, okay? Like a Malasana squat, you could prop your heels up. So he just has, you guys at home, he's just in a full squat with his butt off the blocks. Okay, have a good day, Brandy. Yeah. And just let your spine round, let your arms come down. Inhale, breathe into your back. Exhale. Now I'm going to give an option for who wants to do it. And that is practice with crow with feet on your blocks. So I'm going to show that. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm stacking my blocks, or I'm setting them next to one another. I'm not stacking them. And I got my toes on them. And then I'm going to show it from the side, and then I'll show you guys from the side. I'm taking my feet wide. Those are my knees, not my feet. Yeah. And I'm going to put my hands down. And then I'm just going to practice doing that cat pose, rounding my spine. And I might practice, if I feel like I want to, drawing the belly in and rounding and bending the elbows and just putting a little weight on my upper arms and seeing what that feels like. Okay, I'm going to show you guys at home from the side. So I've lifted my heels, my hands come down shoulder distance, my knees are wide, and I feel them against the back of my arms. And then I lift my belly, and I start to just put a little lean toward my upper arms. Like I make a shelf, I bend my elbows, I'm making a shelf. And look between your hands as you do it. Yeah. So you don't go into a headstand, okay? And keep drawing the belly up. So just like on the floor, how we had to lift our tails, you guys remember that? We were trying to lift them off the floor. And we had to also lift our upper body off the floor. It's the same thing in this upright position. That's what will hold you there. And of course, you can always come off too, if you feel like you want to. And then when you're ready to rest, try as long as you'd like. And when you're ready to rest, we'll come down onto our backs into supported bridge pose. You can use blocks or bolster. First, feel your body on the floor. For me, right now, from so much hinging at the hips, I really want to open my front body. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my block on a higher level than I would for a restorative supported bridge. So when I'm ready, I'm going to press into my feet, inhale, lift the hips, and I'm going to slide a block underneath my hips at a little bit of a higher height. It doesn't hurt. I just want it to be more of an opening. You might even just take 2 low-level blocks stacked on top of one another for that. It's a little more stable. So you tuck your tail so your low back is long. And take a few breaths there. Start lengthening your exhale. And then you might lower the level of your supported bridge and straighten out a leg on the floor, breathing into the front of that side hip. Ensure you don't have any back pain going on. And if you're straightening out one leg, just doing the same on the other side when you're ready. And now can you practice lengthening the exhale just by counting the inhale and then making the exhale longer? And if you're on a supported bridge pose and you've got your legs straight, you might want to bend them now and just kind of rock on your sacrum a little bit, doing a little massage there. And when you're ready to, you can inhale up off of the prop and exhale as you lower, and just do any kind of twisting motion, windshield wipers or anything you prefer. And any other position you might like if you would feel good in a knees to chest, you can do that, or anything else. And I'm going to suggest a chest opener for your Shavasana that you can choose what feels best to you. You could do the chest opener with blocks or blankets. So with blocks, you set one on a lower height and the other one on a little higher height, either low or medium. You just kind of rest back. Your legs can be straight or bent. Okay. And with pillows or blankets, you basically do the same thing. It's just a little softer. So I'm going to take my blanket and fold it up. And I'm going to take either my block or my blanket below my head. And see how it feels. Okay, so just choose what's right for your body. Feels like a pose you can relax in and let go, or practice letting go. And you can either stick with the long exhale for another minute or so, or you can totally release it and just come into your natural breathing. Let your arms be wherever you'd like them. And see if you can soften through your tongue, your jaw, your eyes. And just getting this sense of settling down onto your props, feeling the support there. You might take another sigh or two. And if there was something that came up for you earlier, just about wanting a new perspective on, you might just bring that into your intention, your awareness again. And as you breathe in, feeling as though you're breathing in that intention, and just that possibility of seeing things a new way, of experiencing something a new way. And then letting go of any attachment around it. And you guys can stay just letting go and practicing that for as long as you'd like. And I thank you all for joining me and showing up this morning. Thanks so much. Namaste. Yeah. Taking your time.